Hi, my name is Missy Baldemor, Palawan for Business Head for the Palawan Group of Companies. Palawan Group of Companies has been serving Filipinos for 4 decades. We're built on the mission of making financial services accessible to everyone, especially those underserved by traditional banks. We're best known for Palawan Pawn Shop, but we've grown to offer remittance, jewelry selling and manufacturing, microinsurance, and fintech services through Palawan Pay. We take pride in championing a brick tech approach. That means we can serve our sukis nationwide through our network of more than 3,500 branches and through our Palawan Pay app. As we'd like to put it, pwede sa branch, pwede rin sa app. I lead Palawan for Business. We're focused on growing our remittance and payments ecosystem across our branch network and digital wallet. My role is really about unlocking partnerships, international corridors, and new use cases that strengthen our position as a last-mile financial infrastructure. At the core, it's about being able to serve more Filipinos through sustainable growth by connecting the right partners into our ecosystem. At Palawan Group, our promise has always been simple. Mura, mabilis, at walang kuskus-balungos na serbisyo. Our mission is to make sure that promise holds true across every touchpoint, whether a customer walks into one of our branches or transacts through Palawan Pay. Because when people trust you with their money and their time, every interaction has to be reliable, clear, and effortless. And that's the standard we hold ourselves accountable to every day. The partnership with eTap came together organically around mid-2024. It was really good timing on both sides. We were actively looking to expand Palawan Pay's cash-in network, and eTap emerged as a strong fit for exactly that. We were looking for business models that could carry Palawan Pay as a cash-in channel, and kiosks were emerging as a really scalable option at that time. eTap caught our attention early on, but what really solidified things was when both executive teams sat down together. That's when we realized we weren't just looking at the business arrangement. We were talking to people who shared the same mission of making finance accessible to everyone. Because for us at Palawan Group, it's really important to partner with companies and organizations that share the same values. What sealed it for us was eTap's ambition. They were already making their footprint felt nationwide, and that kind of reach was exactly what we needed to scale Palawan Pay faster. It felt less like a vendor relationship and more like a natural partnership from the start. For an e-wallet to truly thrive, distribution is everything. And while we already had a large over-the-counter network through our branches, we knew that we needed to complement it with more. The reality is, customers expect to cash in anytime, anywhere, not just during branch hours. And that was the real gap for us. We needed to extend our presence beyond the traditional branch model and into channels that could serve customers even after hours. That's what pushed us to look at kiosk partners like eTap. Because really, scale and availability aren't just nice to have in this space, they really are game changers. More customers are actively using Palawan Pay, and cash-in volumes have grown in a way that reflects real everyday usage, not just occasional transactions. The positive customer feedback we've been getting tells us we're genuinely making financial services more accessible. And that's ultimately what this is all about. When we launched Palawan Pay in 2022, digital adoption was already on the rise, and the e-wallet space was getting crowded fast. We had to act and scale fast. Setting up physical branches at the pace we needed was too costly and too slow. And operating in financial services means every expansion move carries regulatory complexity. So we had to be strategic. leaning into asset-light models like kiosk partnerships to scale quickly without necessarily compromising on compliance. eTap addressed our challenges in a very tangible way. Their kiosk network gave us a faster, more cost-efficient path to scale. What started as a few hundred kiosks quickly grew to more than 1,000 in such a short amount of time. But beyond the numbers, it's really about where they placed us. eTap brought Palawan Pay into malls, condominiums, convenience stores, supermarkets, locations where we weren't traditionally present. And because kiosks run beyond branch hours, we had a 24/7 cash-in presence. It was exactly the kind of reach and availability we needed to compete. A few things genuinely stood out. First, the integration was surprisingly seamless. Getting Palawan Pay onto their kiosks didn't require the heavy lifting you'd normally expect. Second, what really impressed me was that eTap isn't just another technology company. They manufacture their kiosks end-to-end and control the technology that runs them. That kind of end-to-end ownership means fewer dependencies, faster fixes, and a partner who's fully accountable. We went from hundreds to over 1,000 kiosks in a year, and that's only possible when your partner controls the full stack. But what excited me most was realizing that the partnership wasn't just about cash-in. Being on eTap's network meant we also gained access to the other services they carry, like their bills payment ecosystem, so it opened up more points for collaboration for the future. The integration meaningfully widened our reach, bringing Palawan Pay into locations and hours we couldn't cover on our own. As a result, we've seen a healthy increase in cash-in volumes without the overhead of expanding our physical network. It's really been a more efficient way to serve more customers. What I'm most looking forward to once the self-service machines go live is how they will transform accessibility and convenience for everyday transactions. These machines have the potential to bring fast, reliable financial services closer to communities that need them most. That is exactly the Palawan Group's promise since it started as a small pawn shop 40 years ago. And it remains to be our guiding light as we continue to expand. I'm especially excited to see how customers will be able to complete transactions independently, whether they're sending money, paying bills, or accessing other services without long queues or time constraints. This kind of innovation not only improves customer experience, but also empowers users by giving them more control and flexibility. From a B2B perspective, I'm also looking forward to how this rollout will strengthen partner networks, drive higher transaction volumes, and open new opportunities for business growth. Ultimately, it's about creating a more efficient, inclusive, and scalable ecosystem for both customers and partners. We are preparing to bridge key operational gaps around accessibility, speed, and service capacity. With this partnership between Palawan Group of Companies and eTap, the self-service machines address common customer pain points such as long queues, limited branch hours, and dependence on over-the-counter assistance. Further, this technology responds to growing demand for faster, more convenient, and self-directed transactions. It allows us to extend our reach, serve more customers efficiently, and provide more seamless experiences, especially in high-traffic or underserved areas. Through the partnership between Palawan Group of Companies and eTap, the goal is to complement, not replace, our current channels by offloading routine transactions to self-service kiosks. eTap has helped us show up at the customer's point of purchase. Supermarkets, convenience stores, malls. which has been a game changer for wallet activations and after branch hours transactions. Being present where people already are, especially younger, more digital savvy customers, means cash in becomes a natural part of their everyday routine rather than a separate errand. That kind of convenience is what drives real, sustained adoption. At the Palawan Group, we're constantly looking for ways to make finance for all real, especially for our last mile customers who need it the most. And there's something special about doing this with a partner that's 100% Filipino. We're not just building a business together, we're building something meaningful for our countrymen.